Unfortunately, it's back to kind of a selfish thing on my part of realizing that my kids are not me.
We have a lot on our plates. It's a lot of responsibility. So as you've looked back on your years of homeschooling, what do you think has been the hardest thing for you? Because, I mean, we talked about trying to juggle all the things, because that's hard, juggling, our husbands and our kids in the home and all that. So that's hard. But I'm talking specifically like home educating your kids, yes, the academic part of it.
Unfortunately, it's back to kind of a selfish thing on my part of realizing that my kids are not me. I think that was the hardest thing for me. It's not specifically a certain subject that was difficult to teach. It was more me wrapping my mind around, oh, my daughter doesn't have my math brain, or, oh, my daughter is gifted in art. What do I do with that? Because that's not me. And it's really honestly, I'm just so self-centered sometimes. And it's again, the Lord's character development. It helps me see like, oh, okay, you need to really get in the mind of your child and who she is and who I've created her to be. Who is she uniquely? And I think that that's been probably the hardest thing for me to do. And then to just craft for her that specific upbringing and development. So my son is a lot more like me, so he's kind of easier for me. But really trying to foster the uniqueness of my children. I think that's been the hardest thing for me. But if I was going to pick academia, like the thing that we tried to tackle in a subject matter, the hardest thing for me to do would probably, we did classical conversations. So wrestling Latin has been not easy. Latin's hard. And it just feels like gymnastics for my brain.
I think it feels like gymnastics for everybody's brains.
I think I go cross-eyed and I think, So that's been really challenging, but I've loved the opportunity to read more literature. So I've also loved the richness that came with struggling through the homeschool and getting to read all the classics and with my kids and discuss them in classes and write papers on them. My writing has gotten better because I'm a homeschool mom. So I guess I feel like I've gotten to redeem my education. So thank Classical Conversations for that.
I love hearing you say that because you said you're redeeming your education and you're a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, I feel like for all of us, like we're redeeming some part of it. Like, I don't feel like you really needed to redeem math because you got math. You understand that. But writing and reading better literature and more literature and all those things, it is, I think, such a beautiful part of home educating our kids. I know for myself, and I've shared this lots of times, and you know this about me, I was a horrible student. Horrible. As a matter of fact, I was telling you the other day when I was a freshman in high school, I went to a different high school than the one I graduated from. I went to the big Catholic school in our town and I wanted to be a cheerleader. And so I tried out and I did great in the tryouts and they came to me and they said, you did great. You made the tryouts, you made the team, but you can't be a cheerleader because your GPA is too low.
That is so sad.
I think you had to have a 2.5 and I had a 2.0. Something like that. But I was a terrible student. And so that really scared me going into homeschooling because I was like, I was a horrible student. How in the world am I going to teach my kids? And I have definitely not done it perfectly by any means, but
I remember it's like potty training too, though. Like you get so frustrated, like, oh, they're not going, it's not working. And then some smart, wise mama told me they're not going to be 18 and still in diapers. It's going to happen. And I thought, okay, I believe you. And the same thing for reading and for math. They're not going to be 18 and not be able to read a book. I mean, unless they have a severe handicap, in which case, then there's just a different road for them and you'll figure that out as a mama. And be able to train them and get them adaptive care or whatever kind of help that they need. But, most of our babies can learn to read, but it comes at different times and it doesn't have to match what the book says or what the public school system says or anything like that because they're all unique.
And
they learn differently.
Incredible because that's how God made us. Like he made us with just the natural ability to learn. We don't necessarily have to sit down with our kids and do a worksheet with them for them to understand that 2 + 2 = 4.
A lot more times it's better to take a couple rocks outside in the park and go, hey, look at these two and these two. Let's count them all up.
And they just learn naturally.
Little.
That's how God created our brains to function. And so, Ooh,
those are my favorite toys are sticks and rocks.
Sticks and stones.
And animal cookies and goldfish crackers. They're good things too.
Goodness. Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.